Here are all the components and pieces to the TRMR TrailRax that we're going to put on the top of this Bronco 2 with the Sasquatch package on it. And here you can see very beautiful truck, and back here we're going to assemble these pieces and then place them on the roof of this truck. Hey everyone, welcome back for a new episode from On Down the Road Productions, and Terry here, and we're here with channel friend Jeremiah. And Jeremiah?
Yes.
We're here to put a roof rack on your Bronco, right?
Indeed. It's going to be fun, I hope.
Let's hear about your truck real quick. It's a Sasquatch package?
So yes, it is a Bronco Sport 2025 Badlands with the Sasquatch package. And I am putting a platform roof rack on it from TrailRax, one designed specifically for the sport. They do a few different ones for the full-size Bronco and for some Jeeps and other trucks and such. What this will do is it'll put a big flat platform on the top that I can mount lights to on the sides, a light bar on the front. I can put an awning on, a rooftop tent possibly if I want, solar panels, any number of things that you can't really do with just a small rack system. So this will give me a nice big platform to build off of for building my off-road capabilities.
Right on. You know, we shared your drawing of all your mods on our posting page on YouTube, and I shared that with Yoda Expedition too. I tagged them, your drawing of your truck with all the mods you wanted to do. Did you look at a lot of different racks to arrive at this one?
I looked at a good number of them. The thing is, I was looking for some really specific qualities.
Right.
I really wanted a large, full body rack.
Yeah. And
I wanted a very low profile rack.
Right.
I didn't, because I've had in the past other vehicles that I've had stuff mounted on that was way up in the air.
Yeah.
And it just caught the wind terribly. And it was just difficult to work with.
Right on.
And so I really wanted the low profile, hugging the line of the roof as much as possible.
Right on.
And I also, another big thing that it came down to is I didn't want to remove the factory roof rails that are already up there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything that had, where I would have to actually modify the vehicle to that level. Just because I wasn't comfortable with doing that level of modification. I really wanted to stick with things that wouldn't potentially mess up my warranty too.
Yeah, right on. So this is the first rack I've seen where you put it over the existing rack. That was pretty impressive.
Indeed. I actually was able to find two different ones. This one from TrailRax and another, I don't remember the name, but it's really popular online. There's
Sherpa?
The Sherpa ones I did see. There's Sherpa and then some kind of spider related one. And those both required you to take off the existing rails.
Yeah.
There was one other one that mounted right to the rails.
Right on.
This one, honestly, I just like the look of this one a little better. It came down to this one and one other one that were about the same profile, about the same setup,
yeah,
about the same build quality, about the same price, but I thought the TrailRax one looked cooler.
So this TrailRax, what did it come in to you for? What was the price?
So the base rack was about $1,100, and
sure,
then it has a pair of gull wings that go down on the sides.
Yeah.
Zombie protectors, as some people call them, but really they're just metal plates that come down over the rearmost windows,
yeah,
for more mounting and for a little bit more protection. Mm-hmm. Those are about another $200 a side, so altogether the rack was about $1,500. And
nice.
That's shipped from,
nice.
And it's made in America.
Even better.
And it was shipped from, I think, Utah somewhere.
Yeah, great. All right, folks. Looking forward to this install. Thank you for being here. Jeremiah, let's do this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you for helping, Terry. I appreciate it.
Hey, anytime. It's either me or Piper.
Okay. I'm just going to start getting all this parts and pieces out of here and laying them out so we can start this assembly. It's all pretty heavy duty, mostly aluminum, some steel, but a lot of aluminum just for the sake of, man, I should just cut this. This is going to take forever otherwise.
Yeah, I have X-Acto knives, Jeremiah.
I have a pocket knife. I'm just going to pull it out.
Okay.
But
now, when you cut it, be careful you don't scratch anything. Super easy to scratch. Oh, that's a serious knife, brother.
Thank you.
You hang out with OJ?
No, this knife is a Hogue. It's actually a semi-custom. As in, the original knife blade I took and put all new hardware and scales on.
Yeah.
Because this specific blade is MagnaCut, which is a really nice steel.
Yeah.
But the base scales that they sell it with are terrible.
Oh,
so
wow.
fantastic knife, but terrible handle base.
Yeah.
So I got my own custom handle made for it.
Sounds good. And Jeremiah, if you take my gold wing after we do this work, you know, bring it back with gas, okay? Right there. And Piper's supervising. Hey, Piper.
Piper's always happy to help.
Yeah. You know, Jeremiah, Piper's the channel franchise. I'm the knucklehead on this operation. Right, Piper?
These are aluminum, but as you can kind of see and hear as I'm working on them, they're heavy duty. Like, these are hefty.
Right on. Yeah, they look heavy duty from this angle.
Which is, I mean, if you look kind of down the side, you can see
yeah,
they're
I
solid.
Sure can.
These are solid pieces.
Right on.
So.
Nice. All right, so Jeremiah's cutting more of the plastic off there. Yeah, so Jeremiah, those look very, very heavy duty.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can feel, each one of these is, I don't know how heavy they are, but several pounds at least.
Yeah, no, there's good weight. And, you know, aluminum, though, is very strong. Mm-hmm. In terms of, you know...
At least if you have a good amount of it. Like, people tend to think of aluminum as weak, but that's mostly because a lot of aluminum things are made very thin to emphasize the lightness.
Yeah.
Rather than as strong as they can be.
Yeah, right on.
It's still not as strong as a piece of steel that size would be, but I'm also not trying to put 50 caliber on top, so.
Yeah. So pretty good knife skills, Jeremiah.
I'm trying to do this carefully without scratching anything.
Yeah, doing a good job. So this is reminiscent of me and Piper working out of the back of the 4Runner on videos. Right, Piper? Yeah, it might be better to cut it there before you lift it out.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
All right, so let's get our viewers excited. So when you buy your new fog lights and stuff, you're coming back, we'll put those on, right?
Well, I actually have someone putting the lights on.
Okay.
I didn't want to mess with electrical myself.
Oh, I got you. Sure.
Being in the electrical trade is enough for me to not feel comfortable touching electrical if I don't know 100% what I'm doing.
Yeah, right on.
Everything else I'm doing myself, all the wiring, I'm having someone else do it.
So ironically, you know, this is a truck video, a DIY install video. Ironically though, Goldwings have a CAN bus electrical system.
Oh.
And a lot of Goldwing owners splice wires to add accessories like lights and stuff, but they damage the CAN bus system. So if you ever buy a Goldwing, top tip alert, make sure the wires haven't been spliced. There's a wire harness you can buy to attach new accessories to, but there's a lot of used Goldwings on the market with spliced wires. Mm-hmm. And if you blow the CAN bus system on a Goldwing, like the one we own, you're doomed.
Good to know.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it doesn't get out there that much because people sell their used Goldwings to buy new ones, but no one says, hey, no one lifts the seat and sees to check to see if the wires have been spliced, right, with accessories. So I actually have the adapter for accessories, and I'll be doing an install video on that down the road.
Ooh, very fun.
Yeah, I like leaving my Goldwing as stock as possible. But back to this. This is pretty cool so far.
Indeed, and leaving stuff stock is kind of part of the reason I am doing it with this rack. Because like I said, I just didn't want to do any real heavy duty modifications to the vehicle itself. Additions, yes, putting stuff on, mounting stuff, but any kind of actual modifications.
Right.
This is a pretty new vehicle and I don't want any issues with the warranty on it.
Oh yeah, right on. Right on. So when I say like I'm leaving the Goldwing stock, or I try to leave my vehicle stock, that's when they hold their most value. You know, I've got some minor things on the Goldwing and on the 4Runner, but overall I like to keep it looking stock. I just think it's better for long-term value.
For sure.
All right, so here we've got these roof bars all laid out. So far so good.
Yep, I'm actually going to need to lay them flat like that. Just haven't quite gotten to that point yet.
Right on.
Now I'm just trying to get stuff unwrapped and taken out. So
right
next
on.
thing I'm bringing out, these are the side pieces.
Okay, let me come around here, folks. Everyone's going to ask me, why weren't you helping them sooner? Well, it's a two-person operation for the filming.
Indeed. And you know, the thing is, just the pulling parts out and assembling them, this really isn't a difficult part. The one main thing where it's like you really got to have two people is putting it up on the roof.
Yeah, I've got a ladder for each side. You can see them up on the wall there.
Which I appreciate, because that's one thing. It's like, I am not going to try to mount this up there myself.
Yeah, we'll be super delicate. Plus, I've got a new package of terry cloths.
Oh,
so
fun.
we can lay them down where we need
You
to.
got any Jeremiah cloths?
Not yet.
Just terry cloths?
Yeah, just terry cloth, yeah. Because, you know, it's on Down the Road Productions.
Yep.
Only things with the name of Terry make it. So,
Catch that, tips, potential sponsors? You got to name the product Terry.
That's right. You know what TRD stands for? Terry really does know. You know Toyota TRD? Mm-hmm. I'm running 1,000% correct on my Toyota video so far since the beginning of time.
And that's the best amount of correct to be. I really need to sharpen this knife.
Yeah.
I haven't sharpened this in probably a year.
Oh, right.
Holds a great edge.
Okay, and these are the actual that go along the side.
Yes,
of
these are the side
windshield
pieces.
here.
Look at the thickness.
Yeah. Super nice. Well, you have the honor, too, of being the first Bronco 2 on this channel after 4 years.
Oh, fun.
I know. Your other Bronco almost made it, but
well,
yeah, I would put that on the table there.
Yeah, for sure.
This
still isn't, I don't know, it's not like a full-size Bronco. So it's not quite the same, but honestly,
hey, I think it's nice.
I really like this. I like these more than the full-size ones.
Yeah.
Just because I like the balance. This one has more of a balance to it. The full-size Broncos are amazing, incredibly capable vehicles.
Right.
Heavy-duty off-road. Not so much if you're trying to park in a parking garage downtown or parallel park somewhere or anything like that. So this one you can still get anywhere you want to go without any kind of problem.
Yeah, be careful with the tip of the knife on the...
Yep.
Of course, you know, if anybody scratched a Goldwing and you did it, I forgive you in 2 seconds. It'd be no problem.
What's that?
If you did scratch a Goldwing, it'd be no problem. You would be immediately forgiven.
I appreciate it, but I don't plan on scratching your Goldwing. Here, I just throw these in that garbage over there.
I got it.
Thank you. Whoops. I do have to say, they packaged all this stuff pretty well for shipping.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to say really nice.
It's a little bit of a pain to get all the packaging off of it, but better packaged to the point where it's a pain to pull it apart than not sufficiently packaged and it all arrives damaged. So this is the front wind deflector plate.
I see.
There's a great big cutout in it for a light bar.
Yeah.
So this one's designed to put a light bar in, and in fact, I am getting a light bar mounted in it.
Nice. There you go. There you go. Well, as part of this video, Piper's agreed to take Piper when he leaves, so... No, Piper, I won't let you go.
Piper belongs here.
She's the best garage putzer I've ever seen. She loves the garage.
Working harder than any of us.
Yeah, makes the most money too.
Probably.
Just like in real life, you know, the slacker makes the most money in the office.
Well, you know, it's all well and good to work hard, but if you can get to a position where you can make money in your sleep, that's when everyone says you've made it, right?
Yeah. Hey, can you share again your comments on the quality of this versus your last Bronco too?
Oh yeah, so I previously had a 2021 Bronco Sport, and that was the, what's it called? Not Outer Banks. Yes, Outer Banks. And it was really nice. It was kind of more luxuriously set up inside. But it had the smaller 1.5 liter engine instead of the 2 liter engine. And the build quality was not as good as this one.
Right. So you're saying Ford's come a long way.
Well, Ford's come a long way, but also they fundamentally build the Badlands, that is the 2 liter version of the Bronco Sport, differently than they build the lower level versions.
Okay, yeah, right on.
And which, I mean, makes sense. It's their flagship version of it.
Yeah, I was noticing, because, you know, I always look at assembly gaps. The gaps are really nice on this.
Indeed. This, you can definitely tell, and I've been able to tell, I've been driving this for about 1,000 miles now. And you can definitely tell that this was assembled better. It's way more solid, and part of that is just with it being
Sasquatch.
the new version. Well, the 2025s are a lot more heavy duty, and in the first place. Then the Badlands are a lot more heavy duty than the lower models, and it's a Sasquatch, which makes it even more heavy duty.
Yeah.
So this one's curb weight is, I think, like 700 or 800 pounds more than the other.
Wow.
So much heavier vehicle, but that's because everything's much heavier duty on it.
Okay.
Big old reservoir shocks, big heavy duty tires, steel bumpers.
Yeah, right on. You know Piper's favorite movie?
What's that?
Reservoir Dogs. Har, 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 Piper, I'm ripping on you.
You can tell how Piper's laughing really hard over there.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's like, no, stop. She wants us to leave her alone, I guess.
Yeah, no, she wants a belly scratch. She's angling for a belly scratch. Can you believe 15-year-old? Piper's 15 years old.
My.
So times 15 by 7, and you'd get her human age.
Dang.
Yeah, she's an
I
OG.
never would have guessed.
I know. Well, I've noticed some changes in her the last year. It's heartbreaking. But let's get back to this.
For sure.
Yeah.
So these are a couple of the parts that actually attach to the rails.
Right.
And
Right on.
something I am noticing that they did that I appreciate.
Pretty thick and heavy duty right here.
Indeed. They're heavy duty, but also if you look, rather than just having a sticker with the part number on it, it's etched into it.
Yeah,
so you
nice.
can't mix it up.
Oh, for
there's
sure.
There's no worries that you got the wrong one in the wrong place.
Yeah, it sounds like you bought a really quality roof rack.
It looks like
no
it.
question.
I'm almost done pulling all this stuff out.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I tell you, the weather tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, they're talking 124 degrees.
Oh, jeez.
So it's going to be bad.
It is too hot.
Well, I'm not riding a motorcycle in 124 degree weather.
Yeah, for sure.
I
still got to run around and do work. Got stuff I got to do tomorrow.
Right.
But I'm glad I'm not going to be mounting any racks tomorrow. That's for sure.
Yeah. Is that, you know, I have a silly question. I would assume this is car wash safe too if you go through a car wash.
And it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Especially because it has the deflector and the flatter, and like the flat profile. It doesn't stick way up and overlap like some other ones.
Yeah, right on.
That said, I'm going to be putting stuff on here that's not a dishwasher safe, not car wash safe real soon. So I'm probably not going to be bringing it through any car washes.
Right on. Okay. Let me see these parts that are getting laid down.
Indeed. So this is just a bunch of hardware.
Right.
Bolts, nuts.
And let me, yeah. Okay.
New bolts for attachment to the rail.
So folks, this looks really intense, even though it seems pretty straightforward to do. It's looking intense with all these bolts and assorted parts.
There's a lot of parts, but a lot of them are redundant. It's a lot of the same parts over and over again.
Here's everything laid out. And there's that badass Bronco with the Sasquatch package.
Bronco Sport.
Bronco
We
Sport.
better clarify it's a sport, otherwise all the full-size Bronco people will come after us.
Yeah.
They can be kind of
And your license plate is
touch grass.
touch grass.
You know, just people on the internet need to go outside more, myself included.
Yeah, well, me too. That's why we do motorcycle camping and we have a 4Runner.
Indeed. I used to do a lot of off-grid, like wilderness camping. I had a rooftop tent on top of my car. I went all kinds of interesting
I remember
places.
that. I remember that. Your Rover Mini.
Yeah, I had a Mini Cooper with a bunch of stuff on it.
Yeah.
With a rooftop tent on top of it and everything.
I was jealous when you were doing that. I was wishing I could do it too with you.
It was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it, but man, I took that many places, some places you really shouldn't take a Mini Cooper. I really didn't think I was going to make it out of there sometimes.
You took it rock crawling, eh?
Not rock. Oh, maybe a little rock crawling.
Yeah.
I took it some places I really shouldn't have.
No, that's
I
fine.
made it out every time. So.
Hey, you know what? Life is short. If you don't, nothing risked, nothing gained.
Indeed. But something I'm really looking forward to is if I could get that Mini so many wild places, how many more places am I going to be able to get this Bronco Sport?
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest with you though, like when it comes to actually putting the roof rack on an SUV, I've thought about doing my own by myself. and I sent a note to Yoda Expedition, so when I do it, I'm going to drive my truck to Pennsylvania
Oh, fun.
and do the roof rack installation with Yoda when I get to that point.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, because you know, if you're doing it by yourself, I don't want to damage my roof.
That's exactly my thing. Because all this assembly, it's tedious, but it's not hard. There's no reason one person can't do this.
Oh, right on.
But actually putting it up there, maybe one person could do it, but I don't want to risk that.
Yeah, right on. No, I think you're right.
If I had a old ratty car or something that's been beaten on a bunch, I probably would just do it myself.
Yeah, right.
But I am trying to get this, keep it nice.
Right on.
No reason something can't be pretty and capable.
So here we've got a really organized layout of all the pieces.
I was just trying to figure out a spot I could set this where it'll kind of stay so I can see it. Maybe, oh, if I put it again. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
So first thing, I need to just put that gasket on and then mount the little plates.
Yeah, and this is on the front piece that goes over the windshield.
So that's this right here.
Yeah,
so
right on.
This goes on the windshield, so this is the front. So
I see the gasket on the table over there too.
Yep.
It should go right on.
Should just pop right on, I think.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's directional. So I think, yeah, we want it this side out.
Want me to hold the end while you do that? Here, I'll hold the end.
Okay.
See, folks, I am getting involved now. So this is the first time on Down the Road Productions where I've become the official cameraman.
Yeah.
So I've got a heat gun, Jeremiah. If you want to heat that up to
It looks
form
like
fit
it's going right on.
Yeah, right on.
But yeah, we might, if we get this and it seems like it's going to be a pain, then yeah, let's do it. But it looks like it's popping right on. I just hope I have it lined up right.
So, just to recap so far, we took all the parts.
As long as we can cut it to size.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have laid the parts out to be organized, and we're doing step one, putting the rubber on the front piece that goes over the windshield.
Just keep it from scratching everything up.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to join like an off-road club? They have them in Michigan.
Probably not.
Well, they go to this, there's a lot of women that participate in that. Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan. You'd be surprised. I had a girl showed me her taking her 4Runner up the dunes last time we were in Thompsonville 2 years ago.
That is fun.
I'll be back up there in August. But yeah, they all go to, they get a permit and they go up and down the sand dunes.
Oh, that's fun.
With the 4Runners and Jeeps. You got to be careful that you don't get sand in your air filter.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
I'm not sure how much I'm going to take this into sand. I mean, not like I'm going to avoid dirt.
No, but...
Heaven forbid, but I don't know about sand dunes.
Well, it seems every year they do it, people get stuck out there with sand in their motors.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
I got a lot of places to go that I want to go that aren't sand dunes. I like the forests. I like forests, and I like the desert and stuff too, but less like sand dune deserts and more just badlands.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the desert is freaking scorpions.
Yeah.
I can't deal with those things. There's some big ones too out in the desert.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, a foot long one.
You gotta watch out for the scorpions, like you're saying. All right, so.
Unless you hear them on the radio.
Alright, so that went on that seemed like it went on pretty easy.
Yeah, we just need to cut the end off there.
Yep, just trim it down to size.
I'll watch you trim. Oh, he's got all the right pocket tools, people.
Yeah. This is a pocket size one though, so, oh, never mind, it's cutting fine. I say I might need to get something bigger, but it seems to be doing.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
No problem.
No problem.
There we go.
Good job. That worked out great.
One step down.
Okay, and let's set that down on the rug so you don't scratch it. or use the rug to set it down on right here.
Well, let's see what my next step is. Next is just, putting a little plate on the back of it and the two big sides. So,
Yeah.
got just these little back plates. I don't know. So the whole point of these is you mount it on there to make the logo pop more.
Right.
I don't know if I'm that concerned about having the logo pop.
Yeah, I think that's up to you, owner preference.
I don't know. What do you people on the channel think? Not that you're going to get to see it before I make a decision, but...
Yeah. Well, you can always change your mind, though. It can't be hard to put them on after the fact.
This is true.
So leave it in comments.
Well, it can't be hard to take them off either. You know, I'll put them on, and if we get it up there and I'm like, yeah, then I'll just take them off.
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
Let's see. So I need some of the...
Oh, there goes our 4Runner.
540 and a half. 540.
You know, Teresa loves driving the 4Runner. You know, you sit up high off the road and...
It's a good vehicle.
Yeah, you're telling me. I'm lucky to have that one, you know, after all I've been through.
Oh, I do like the 4Runners. I like Toyotas in general, but my work doesn't allow me to drive one.
No, I understand that. Same thing with guys that do roofing here, or the people that came to our home today for the emergency. They have to use American vehicles.
Which I get. I'm not like against that. And the thing is, I do like this one a lot, so I'm not like upset. I'll tell you what, if I was in another country, I might be. So I'm pretty sure it's just these little tiny nuts and bolts that I used to put this plate on. This is actually the part where, now that I think about it, I really should get some tools.
Okay. Well, what do you need?
I need drivers.
Well, I got them all right here. So
I need some like.
Bring that bag with you. Yeah, bring that bag with you, and we'll just go right here. Got it. Yeah. So. Here you go, brother. Here's the Allen wrenches that will work. Also, I've got more. Okay.
And then.
You need. What size socket is that?
Got 3 different sizes of sockets.
Let me have one of each size, and I'll get the right.
And these big ones.
I'll go over to the toolbox and get the right sockets for you.
Thank you.
For the TRMR TrailRax Bronco Sport Sasquatch package install, these are the tools you'll need: a tape measure, 7/16 ratchet, a 9/16 ratchet, wrench, 9/16, 7/16 ratchet, and of course this Makita drill.
Day 2.
Alright, well, so we actually started this project a little bit earlier, but we had to pause while I took a run to the hardware store. Ugh, can't talk. We had to pause while I ran to the hardware store because we were actually missing a few pieces from the kit. When they shipped everything, it looks like they forgot to ship 1 bag of nuts, and they're a specialty T-nut. So, and I couldn't find anything like it even at the hardware store. So we're actually modifying the install a little bit. We're flipping it around. Instead of putting a bolt through the front into a carriage, into a T-nut, we're putting a carriage bolt in from the back up into a nut on the face. And then we'll just paint it black.
Wow, talk about being industrious.
Starting out.
Yeah, we're starting out here, making sure we're organized. You can see how the pieces are laid out here on the floor, and we're using this small table and 2 cans of liquid death. It's a very humid, hot day here in Michigan.
I'm gonna put
Now, top tip alert is that we put all the nuts and bolts in separate sandwich bags for organization. Just a tip for you guys out there: if you do this, it keeps things organized and it keeps spare bolts from like flying off the table and stuff. So sandwich bags, I guess, do have a better purpose in life than a peanut butter and jelly. So back when I had my original Bronco on order, a Black Diamond edition with a Sasquatch package, Ford was sending me all these freebies, like a Bronco flag. You've seen the Bronco flag in the mail. Jeremiah got that. And they also sent me a Bronco card game with 52 cards, and I just gave Jeremiah that too today. And yeah, if you get on the order list for the Bronco, the other Bronco, Ford does send you a lot of free stuff in the mail till your Bronco shows up. At least they were doing that back in 2022. But as you guys know, I wound up with another 4Runner. All right, this is the piece that goes on the front over the windshield. And again, Jeremiah's test fitting all the bolts and nuts.
So I'm just counting all of my washers here. And I think what I want to do, just because some of the washers, as I mentioned earlier, I need to swap some stuff around.
Right on.
So some of the washers are not black, because they're not designed to be on the face and seen. So because this face plate cannot come off once it's on, it's going to be permanent. I'm going to put black washers on that, and I'll use some of the silver ones elsewhere, because those I can pull, just unbolt the thing and pop them off, put different washers on a little bit later.
Yeah, good plan.
So as you can see, with using these carriage nuts instead, we're still going to end up with a little bit of silver showing. So I actually got a black enamel paint pen. So once this is all assembled and put together, I'll go through and just dot the end of each of these with the paint pen, so that there's no silver showing and everything's nice and black and pretty.
Right on, right on. So another top tip for you guys, in lieu of like black paint or washers that are silver, just use the black paint pen. So
the next thing I'm going to do, now that I got all these bolts in, is I'm going to slide one of these pieces along the carriage bolt. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to do that, which is probably, I don't know if upside down like this is going to be the best
I think that might be good. So I'm going to come in closer here.
Yeah.
So here's the carriage bolt he's trying to slide into, and here, I'll help you hold it.
I might end up doing it the other way.
Okay.
Just because I've got to square them off each time I do a set.
Right on.
So start right at this end.
Well, guys, as we do this, you can figure out why I want to do a collab with the Yoda Expedition on my truck. I don't have the amount of patience Jeremiah has sometimes. Or, you know, plan B would just be order the roof rack from Yoda and have Jeremiah come by and we reverse roles. Oh, look at that. So laying it down, instead of holding it up, another top tip, we lay the front piece down and slide everything along. There you go, Jeremiah. Smart move again.
Yeah, thank you. Got to get it
right on.
squared off so it actually goes in.
Yeah, right.
This pair doesn't want to go in. I wonder why.
I heard that a lot as a teenager. That was a joke. Okay, we did it. And we're doing the next one now. Maybe
just gotta get it lined up.
Yeah, lined up, and
the
same
slot.
issue, slides
There we
through,
go.
right? You see that? Well done, Maestro.
Thank you. That piece is on. And move this up and just set it over at the end for now. And then we'll start the next section. So our next thing we got to do is mount those pieces you'll see on the ground right there. Those are the brackets that actually sit on the factory rails. And so we're going to mount those to the cross braces on this platform.
Right on, right on. Nice, this is one of our toolboxes for this install. Neither here nor there, but we got her opened up. We're drinking a lot of we're drinking a lot of liquid death today, guys. The best drinking water I've ever had. Not a commercial, but we got a whole fridge full of liquid death because it's really hot and humid today.
At Liquid Death, you should sponsor Terry. He won't stop talking about you guys.
Yeah, you hear that, Liquid Death? We love you. Yep, and I take Liquid Death with me on every motorcycle ride. Right there. Okay.
So next we're going to take and slide all these 1 and 5/8 inch ¼ carriage bolts into slots, into racks 1 and 2 and 4 and 5.
Okay. Guys, if you're wondering about our green garbage can to Jeremiah's left, that's our company filing system here at On Down the Road Productions. If it's important, it goes in the filing system. And here you can see the Bronco flag is gone. We gave that to Jeremiah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I have another flag I can put up there actually, Jeremiah.
Oh, what kind of flag?
It's an old Rusty Wallace black flag with the number 2 on it. I used to be a big fan when he drove the black and gold Thunderbird.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know, back then in NASCAR, Rusty Wallace was Dale Earnhardt's biggest threat every week.
I admit I know very little about NASCAR.
Well, those two, the rivalry made, that was classic. You know, you had a black Chevy and a black Ford going at it every weekend, and that's what really grew the sport, was that rivalry, one of the rivalries. That was one of the biggest ones back in the early 90s. Oh, Jeremiah's using the filing system. Jeremiah, that'll be $10. Okay.
All right, next we're gonna set those pieces right on there. Got those in so. And see, each one of these has a specific ID, goes in a specific spot.
And you were telling me they're etched in.
Yeah, each one of these, if you look, it's etched right into the piece. Makes it really easy to tell what's what and what goes where.
Yeah, the F is for Ford. The BS is for no BS reviews at ODTRP.
It sounds legit.
Yeah.
And so we just, those bolts that we slid in before, we're just gonna put the corresponding piece over those bolts on each one, and then use the locking nuts
Right on.
and washers. Places I mentioned where we have the silver washers, I'm going to substitute them out and use silver and use these instead of the black washers you'd normally put here, because none of this is going to be visible at all.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, right on. Yeah, I think they're talking, feels like over 100 degrees today here pretty soon.
Jeez. Too hot. I like some heat, but not like this.
Yeah, so when you said too hot, I thought it was either Teresa or the channel, Jeremiah.
Alright.
So I think it's important to have a small work surface too when you do something like this.
Indeed, just a place to set everything down.
Yeah, right on.
So I'm going to grab 16, 18, 19, throw those on, then throw on the washers.
Doing the other side, and then we'll come back when they're all hooked
These
up.
on, but I'm not actually tightening them all the way down yet. Because these all need to be able to move around
Right on.
to line up perfectly. Once we're up on the roof and trying to line everything up,
Then we'll torque it down.
we'll torque it down. It's done. I'm just,
Hand tight, right, Jeremiah?
well, I hand tightened them and I'm loosening them just a quarter turn so that this can move back and forth on the,
On those rails.
yeah.
Right on.
Because once it gets up there, actually I'm going to loosen this one just a quarter turn more.
Right on.
Once it gets up there, this needs to be able to slide around. Put those sides on.
Right on. How cool does it get
Now
here?
it's time for a little bit of assembly line action. For putting all these side pieces on, we're going to take these bolts, quarter 20 bolts, put a washer on each one,
Right on.
and I'm going to get some of this Loctite I set aside. We're going to add a little bit of Loctite.
So let me just tell you something before we Loctite.
Yeah.
I had a Traction Dynamics kickstand pad for my Honda Goldwing.
Oh.
And I had to use Loctite on that, but it dries really fast.
Oh,
and it defeated
good
the
to know.
purpose. Yeah, it defeated the purpose. And
So what I should probably do then is, as I put each one on, Loctite and
yes.
screw it in.
Yes, exactly.
Good to know. Thank you.
No.
There's a tip for you.
You know, so I'll give Max McAllister a shout out at Traction again, because I had to ask for new inner sleeve bolts or something for the pad, but because of that Loctite, I can't use their traction pad. It just dries so quick, you know. All right, I'm back.
All right, together, and then this whole thing's going up.
Right. You know, the only thing missing from this video, Jeremiah, are some cold beers. We should have thought of that. Darn it! What a day for cold beers.
That would be a nice day for a beer. Let's just start in the back.
Yeah, again, you know, that's my biggest concern with roof racking my 4Runner is I don't want to damage the roof.
Yeah, that's a big part of why I'm here.
That's right.
Lifting it up with two people will make all the difference.
Yeah, you're in the On Down the Road Productions
Okay.
garage studio.
Got
What happened?
paper towel by any chance?
Yeah, I sure do. I'll grab it in a second.
I wanted to get this, get
Yeah.
it off of the,
Yeah, I'll get it in a second. I think we're okay.
I just want to get it off my,
Oh, right. Oh,
one of
okay.
those.
Liquid death.
There's something in a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright.
You know, another top tip, everyone thinks the liquid death cannon is a can of beer when they see it. So be careful if you drink and drive with liquid death. Lots of laughs. So I used to bring it up to Teresa works at home too. I used to bring her up cold cans of liquid death and her coworkers thought it was beer. Can you believe it?
That's no good.
That's no good.
So I'm not, once,
Hey, on Liquid Death really quick, I would love to have them sponsor us. That would be really huge if you're listening, Liquid Death. Okay, there goes the Loctite. I'm going to let Jeremiah move fast with this. Given my story on my kickstand pad on my Goldwing.
could you check really quick?
Yeah, I can tighten these right down right now, so that's important. Wanted to make sure of that before I...
So I really feel like a knucklehead again because the Loctite didn't hang us up like it did for me in my Goldwing.
Well, I'm also going real fast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got you.
Each time I put a drop on, I'm already getting ready to put it in. Now, these are actually Allen wrench heads. I just got Allen heads for my drill
Right on.
so that I'm not hand tightening all these nuts, because that would, all these nuts and bolts, that'd just take way too long.
Yeah, right on. So I have a couple different hand drills, and I think I have a set of those too, but I got to dig them up. It's so easy to accumulate tools in your garage.
Yeah.
And things you only use once, or not very often.
Indeed. Use them one time and then next thing you know it's lost in the ether. I don't have as much of that problem since I don't have very much space. All my tools pretty much, I only keep exactly enough tools to fill one tool bag.
Yeah, that's fine. Nice drill with a light there. So
Indeed.
Milwaukee, right?
Makita.
Makita.
I love this thing. These little tiny, this specific Makita, it's the little like micro-sized one.
Yeah.
I've had this thing for probably 6 years now.
Yeah,
Put it really, do all kinds of stuff.
Right on.
It comes out swinging.
Yeah. So every time you say Makita, I want to say Gesundheit.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Again, I just want to go back to, I love the fact that this goes over the existing factory roof rack. I mean, that is such a cool idea. I mean, why not?
Definitely makes things easier.
Here's to get that off your fingers. You don't want to glue your fingers together.
Indeed.
I would be the one to do that, not anyone else.
Some of these. Might as well put it on the end of some of these bolts real quick while it's on my fingers.
Hey, real quick, on Monday you're getting fog lamps put on your bike, on your truck too, right?
Yeah, part of why I need to get this roof rack on this weekend is because on Monday I'm dropping this off to get all kinds of stuff put on it, including some stuff that's going to be mounted right on the roof rack.
And dare I say, Jeremiah's wearing motorcycle boots. You're in the vibe here.
Right. Pre-Loctited a bunch of those to make use of anything that goes wrong is just another chance to get something else right.
All right, so we'll finish this stuff.
Is that like?
Yeah, it definitely requires a degree of patience.
Yep.
Definitely.
So what I should have done, and what I'm going to do from now on, I'm going to get them all
Started.
get everything in, just not tight, but everything going.
And then
then I'll do one loop around at the very end and tighten everything down.
Another top tip, folks. Yeah, we're doing the front part that goes over the front windshield. We had also put a rubber piece along the front so it doesn't damage the roof of the vehicle too from the front. So this is like at I'm going to guess like a 60-degree angle, this front piece, that helps with fuel economy, definitely, with this roof rack on the vehicle.
And fun fact, with the TrailRax roof racks, like the one I'm putting on,
Right on.
they match the angle of the front of your vehicle.
Yeah,
So this
right.
one is at this specific angle because it's the same angle as the Bronco Sport, as the Bronco Sport already has up there with the windshield and everything.
Good to know.
It can form a continuous surface.
So we're gonna tag TrailRax in this video too, Jeremiah.
Yeah, for sure.
And these are just going in loose, and we'll tighten them up on the vehicle.
Yeah, especially this one up front, especially we're not tightening down yet because we'll adjust this once it's up there and line this up, the front piece up exactly where we want it.
Right on. Yeah, we're lining up the other side. You can see this side is hand tight, and we're gonna do the same for this side.
Yep, just getting everything more or less in place.
Rock and roll. And we'll set up a ladder on each side of your truck and have Teresa come out and help with filming. The other side is lined up, and we're just repeating the process that we had done for the other side. The other side, the lineup on the other side is a bit more challenging.
Just trying to get everything forced into place.
Yeah, do I need to like maybe do this? Did that help?
Not really, but I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay.
It's lateral that it's not lined up as well as I'd like.
Just a few more as we get closer to the other side. All these bolts are being hand tightened, and then again we'll firm it up when it's on the roof. New challenge, we got to loosen right here to finish tightening the final one. So we're going to loosen the bolts here and hand tighten the other one and redo this one again. The final rail doesn't line up perfectly. Does it now?
That should be enough,
Okay, good.
hopefully. Find out in 10 seconds here. Oh, there we go.
There we go. What a maestro.
Just enough to get it in.
And now this bracket's being retightened. We had to loosen it to get everything to line up, right?
I'm re-loosening it again actually because I retightened it too soon. I should have left it loose a little longer for this other piece. I wonder actually if I move that way back along there, that'll give us a little more give. Man, that one didn't want to go in. But it's in. Alright, one more pair of bolts to put on, then I'll walk around and tighten all this down.
Now,
Just about done. This should have been the most time-consuming part of this. So, once all this is on and tightened down, just gotta put it up and get it bracketed on. I say that, but that's still another 5 or 6 steps wrapped up in what I just said. But nothing as individual step as time consuming as this one, I don't think.
yeah, I think you're right about that. All right, here we are going on the roof soon. Nice work, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
What we have here is a ladder on each side of this Bronco Sport. Come around here. And here's our other ladder. And the roof rack will go right over this, which is nice not having to fully remove this.
Alright, so we just gotta be careful. Actually, I'm kind of thinking, I think this just screws out.
Right on, yeah, that's cool.
Let's just take the antenna off just while we're putting this up there,
Okay.
so it's not in the way.
Yeah, this could damage your roof.
Yeah. We need to be careful, especially because a lot of stuff is still loose and sliding around.
Okay, we have it right side up, and we're moving these back into the middle.
Okay, I think we're good.
Yep. Okay, nice and slow.
Yep.
Calculated.
Oh.
Okay, very close to completion here. We're doing some final tightening, and so far so good. It is a two-person job. I know some people try this on their own. I totally recommend having a second set of hands at least in doing these things so you don't damage your roof no matter what kind of vehicle you have.
For the lift, for sure.
Yeah, for the lift all the way, yes. and patience. It's not a fast lift, it's a measured lift.
It's going to get scratched, it's going to get beat up.
Yep. And now we're tightening, right, Jeremiah?
That's it. Getting the back tightened down, just hand tight. You don't want to break anything or strip anything or mess up the factory roof rails.
Right on. And again, folks, I got an air conditioning unit running. It's very hot today in Michigan, so I cannot shut that off right now. Piper's inside living in the lap of luxury with the AC on while we are out here working.
That's where I'd like to be. Unfortunately, even when I leave here, I got to go do a whole other project.
Yeah. That's right. Jeremiah's going to wash my truck for me, and, you know.
Remind me at some point in the future, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know.
Well, we had 12 cans of liquid death. I think we eliminated 2 cases of liquid death, that's for sure.
Just hand tight. There we go.
Looking
About
good.
as tight as we can get without damaging the factory rail.
And ladies, Jeremiah is a bachelor. So if you're interested, let us know. He's got his badass Bronco and he's doing great in life. We share the same birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And
all the ladies out there, I'm a hardcore outdoors guy, but I'm also a nerd who sits at home and I play games with you and do whatever.
yeah, and not only that, you hang out with me too.
Indeed.
So Jeremiah, you're in our commercial for our channel.
Oh, really?
Remember on our birthday years back when we got pizza together?
Mm-hmm.
That's in our On Down the Road Productions commercial, so go to our channel and watch the commercial, okay?
Oh yeah, I'll check that out. I didn't know it was in
See, I didn't tell you, so I wouldn't have to pay you royalties. Yeah,
I did it for exposure. It's okay.
Yeah. So people know that I'm not a shill channel and I don't BS people. I agree with Jeremiah that the quality of the 2025 Bronco is a lot more refined than the older Broncos.
Especially because like before I had a 2021 Outer Banks.
Yeah.
And it was really nice, but the build quality was not really there.
Right on.
I gotta say though, for this one, this is the Badlands Sasquatch. The build quality is way better, far superior.
Right on.
All right, let's get this front lined up. 9/16 in the front, in theory. That's not 5 9/16 at all. All right, so hey, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Let me double check I'm measuring the right side.
Right on. Yeah,
All right.
check twice, cut once. It's the famous saying.
Face at the end, quarter. 5 5/16 on that side. Make sure we're pulled tight over here. We are pulled tight. 5 5/16 over there. Over here we're at 5 1/4. We're like a 1/16 of an inch off.
I know, that's not a lot.
That's that. I am going to just pull it just like that.
I think you did it right there.
That's probably enough. Yeah.
That did it, right?
I think that did it.
Maestro move.
Let's get this tightened down. And then, once this is all tightened down, I'll just tighten down the front, or get the front lined up and tightened down.
The wings should go pretty fast, right?
Yeah, I mean, those we can move them around. It's just a couple of bolts and then big old suction top.
Right on. Final tightening here on that side. Final tightening on the opposite side.
Then we just got to tighten the front, and the main body of the rack is done.
Well done.
Just so everyone knows, because Terry's all worried about it, he was very helpful this whole time. Don't come after him in the comments.
Oh, you're too kind, Jeremiah. I also drink all the beer I've been bragging about. Yeah, hey, I gotta let everyone know before you go back down the ladder. If you put a rooftop tent on this, I'm gonna be really jealous because I want one on my 4Runner. If you do it before me, I'll get jealous, okay?
I'm not planning on putting a rooftop tent on top of this thing.
All right, because you don't want me jealous, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Get this centered.
Yep, I'm holding it here.
I'm gonna do this side, and then I'll come over to, actually, I could use just a normal ratchet for this. There's no reason to.
Yeah, whatever you think. Tighten it though, if you think you need to. There's that ratchet wrench.
Well, I'm just getting it snug right now because I want to go line up that side and make sure it's lined up exactly the same way.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm actually going to drop this down a tiny bit. I want it. Just so
It moved a little bit.
Yep, just so it flex the wind better. I don't want it sitting on the windshield.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Bring it up. That. I'm just going to bring it a little bit tight. Just need to make sure that we have the same amount of it's lined up left to right. So once we get, how does it, is it even on that side?
Yeah.
Alright, if it looks even over there, looks even over here, I'll get this side tightened down, get that side tightened down, then coming through and tighten all the middles.
Oh yeah. And even Steven, and he's not even working on this video.
So look even over there?
Yeah, everything looks good.
I'm actually going to, we'll be fine.
You know, I think a shop would charge $500 to $1,000 to install this with all the labor.
$870 is what I was quoted.
Wow. See, so we saved $870.
I was thinking about having someone else do it.
No.
And I was like, for $870,
No.
I'll do it.
No. Putting the antenna back on there.
Yep. Get this nice and tight now. And I'll come back through and just touch up those edges later. Now that both sides are tight, I'll tighten up the whole middle. How does it look from the front?
It looks really good, Jeremiah.
Look even?
Yeah.
Look like it's not touching anything it shouldn't?
I don't see it touching anything, and it looks kind of good.
Perfect. That's, nothing is the exact amount I want it to be touching. Like?
Yeah, right. So to complete the install, we're putting the wings on.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to look really sweet.
And these are attachment points, structural attachment points for a bunch of stuff. Before we mount it up there, we got to attach the big old suction cup to the bottom of this, and that'll be the support for the whole bottom section.
It anchors to the window.
Yeah, anchor it to the window, and that's pretty straightforward. This whole last part honestly should go real fast.
Yeah, I know. We're just going to film the one side because the other side is real close to the AC unit.
Alright, so the suction cup has this plastic protector that came on the back of it.
Okay.
So just going to take that off.
Nice.
Now, just going to tighten these down.
And again, folks, the other side is identical to this, and we're just filming this side for this wing, the passenger side wing.
Can't get into there with that there.
Like magic. Beautiful.
Same thing here. If I can get in there with this, I might need to use the hand one.
Okay. Okay, so we're using the hand wrench now for the final two because of, you can see here, it's hard to squeeze.
Just don't have much space.
Yep, it's okay. Right on.
Now
So
that's firmly cemented on there.
and now you gotta do something with the suction cup to make it
So now, final thing, we'll press this down. Press this into place.
And folks, this is where life sucks.
Yeah. Put the suction cup in. If you look around this way, I don't know if you can see it from there, but there's this presser.
Yeah, I see it. They can see it.
And we're just gonna, and this will slowly, once this is pressed in,
it'll take the air out.
This will take the air out.
Yeah, so I see that. It did. All right, so
Now, that is not going anywhere. The last bit of pipe right there.
okay.
And that side's done.
Yeah, and again, folks, the other side is identical. We're not this episode, folks. We went through a DIY install. Jeremiah is finishing the other wing right now. We're basically done with this DIY install on a 2025 Bronco Sport with a Sasquatch package. We appreciate that you hung out with us for this DIY. If you're new to the channel, like maybe own a Bronco Sport, we hope this video helps you. Guys, thank you for being here. We are on your side. We do think of you. Until next episode, keep doing the best you can. If you get knocked down, get back up. Until next episode, thanks for being here. If you can, give us a like or subscribe or share. And God bless. You guys have a great day.